In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to attach crimp beads with a spacer bead covering the crimp beads on top. First, use your set of pliers to open up your jump ring. Attach the jump ring to the carabiner clasp. Use your set of pliers to close up the jump ring. And as you're closing it, you want to be pushing your pliers closer together and hear a click. Pass the ring and then come back to where they meet. That click is super important, especially in this case because we're going to be adding a thin wire. So if this jump ring is even the slightest bit open, the beading wire will slip out and your necklace or bracelet will break. So this is one of the most important parts of the entire tutorial. Insert the wire to the jump ring that we attached to the carabiner. Slide the 2 crimp beads onto the wire. And you want the crimp beads to also be going into the opposite side of the wire. Pull the crimp beads all the way down. So far it should look like this. Individually crimp each crimp bead on the bottom section of the crimper tool. Turn the wire and the crimp beads perpendicular into the top section of the crimper tool and press down. Repeat the same thing to both crimp beads, and your crimp beads should look like this. Cut the extra wire off, then grab your spacer bead and slide that onto the wire. The spacer bead will naturally flow down over on top of the crimp beads, covering them and acting as a crimp cover. Now you can go ahead and string your beads or pearls onto the wire. Once you have all the pearls or beads on your wire, open up the jump ring. Close the jump ring back, pass the ring, and then come back to where they meet. Next, attach 2 crimp beads on the wire. Then grab your jump ring and attach it onto the wire. And then slide the wire back into the 2 crimp beads. So now we're measuring the length of the spacer with the wire and the jump ring. Once we're done crimping this down, we're going to take the jump ring back off, slide the spacer bead on, and then reattach the jump ring. Make sure that when the cap is on the wire, there's enough space in between the wire to reattach the jump ring. Test the pearls and make sure that they're completely fluid on the wire and they're not tense. Crimp down the beads on the bottom section of the crimper tool. Turn them perpendicular inside the top part of the crimper tool and press down to close them off. Cut the excess wire off. Go back and open the jump ring. And now you can slide the cap on. Then reattach the jump ring to the end of the wire and then onto the chain link. And use your set of pliers to close up the jump ring. And you need to make sure that when you're passing the ring and closing it off, you hear the click, pass it, and then come back to where they meet. And that is how to attach beading wire to the crimp band that act as a crimp cover to create a necklace, bracelet, or any jewelry piece of your choice. This is what I ended up creating with the entire piece. If you want to see how to create this look, go to part 2.